Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Joey G on this Wednesday afternoon. What's going on, everybody? Joey G, the most, how can I put myself? I get the biggest mind in wrestling, the most inspiring mind in wrestling. I am the most creative man in wrestling, and I'm going to let you know my Raw review real quick. Okay, Raw was alright this past Monday night. AJ Styles, Roman Reigns, and I'm going to let you know real quick where this feud is going. Okay, for you wrestling fans out there, you should know go back to 1994, okay? The SummerSlam match between Lex Luger and Tatanka. Now follow me this. This is Roman Reigns, AJ Styles. I'm comparing it to Lex Luger and Tatanka. Roman Reigns is constantly calling AJ Styles a liar. Constantly calling him a liar, saying he's together with the club, just like the Click, and I love the club. Really, the Bullet Club from Japan. What do you call it? And Roman keeps saying, he's with him, he needs the club to beat me, blah, blah, blah. Roman running his mouth with his two fucking, excuse my language, his two corny-ass Samoan clowns that he's got with him. That's what I call them, the Samoan clowns, the Usos. They're friggin' the Luzos, for real, because they're horrible. But, that feud, the Roman feud, you can see where it's going. It's just like, remember when Tatanka in 1994 kept telling the fans and everybody, Lex Luger sold out to the $1 Million Man. Lex Luger sold out to the $1 Million Man. He came on the Brother Love show all summer long of that 94. The year before I went into my senior year in high school. I was 17. That whole summer. I know, and it was the summer that OJ got arrested. You know what I mean? But a year later he got off. You all know that. It was the summer, June 12th, he did that, he committed them murders. And yes, he is friggin' guilty. He is. And if you don't think he's guilty, then you're a friggin' idiot. What do you call it? But it has nothing to do with race. I mean, come on. He's guilty. I mean, blood don't lie. DNA don't lie. I'm not turning this into an OJ debate. What do you call it? But that summer, you could see Tatanka kept saying Lex, and you made it to think that Lex, but it wasn't. I was a fan back then, and I knew Tatanka's going to be wound up ending up being the heel. But in this case with Roman and AJ, it's going to be, and I said about, it's that Roman is definitely going to team, Gallows and Anderson are definitely going to turn on AJ. They already did in Japan. That's why, as I said a lot of shows back, when I first started doing this again, when they were in an interview when the Bullet Club first came in, Gallows and Anderson, and they said to AJ, we're sorry for that thing that happened. They were talking, and it's in Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Right now, the Pro Wrestling Illustrated that's on the stands. Go to your local Rite Aid, CVS, whatever. It shows in that magazine the Bullet Club laying out with Kenny Omega, the Bullet Club, Gallows, Anderson, Kenny Omega, a couple other people, Finn Balor, all sitting there laying out AJ Styles and looking at him like this, going like this, and doing the click sign over him. So that's what they were referring to. And they're going to do it again to him. They're going to do it again and go with Roman Reigns. Now, because, it's inevitable. You got to turn Roman Reigns a heel. You got to. You have to. I'm guessing this is the way they're going to do it with the Roman Empire. There's no other way to go. Unless you just keep him a loner and keep him a smug, you know what I mean? Just let him be a bad guy like that. Because like AJ said, everybody's getting sick and tired of, I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm the guy. To be the guy, Roman, let people know that you're the guy. You're you're not the best ever, but tell them that you're the best ever. Roman is a good star. Roman does have unique moves. He can fly over that top rope like The Undertaker used to. Roman is a great talent, is an A+ talent, but you got to know where to use that talent. It's like having a great actor, but if you put him in a shitty role or a shitty film, it's going to suck. You know what I'm saying? So, same thing with Roman Reigns. You know what I mean? You got to let him be that heel. And him and AJ will have a great... No, there's no doubt, and I will give my Extreme Rules predictions later this weekend. It's only Wednesday. But I think him and AJ are going to have a great match. A great match at Extreme Rules. With the Roman heel turn and all. Gallows and Anderson, I don't know what's going to happen. With the Usos, I could just see Roman turning on them, like how Hogan did with Beefcake when Hogan went with the NWO and beat the Giant at Hog Wild in '96. And him, Nash, and Hall were celebrating in the ring, and Beefcake came down with the NWO cake. You know what I mean? And Hogan was just and he got Scott Hall or Kevin Nash held him, and Hogan just started laying into him. When Hogan beat up his nephew Horace, that's what Roman has to do. He has to beat up the Usos real bad. You know what I mean? Even Bring Rikishi out of the crowd, Fatu. You know what I mean? AKA Rikishi. And let Roman beat the shit out of Superfly Snuka. I don't know if he's in jail, you know what I mean? But, you know, I know things were happening to him because he did kill his wife. Let him beat up like one of them legends, you know what I mean? Like, let him beat Sika up, his pop. Let him, like, disrespect Sika, smack him in the mouth on Raw. You gotta do something to get him over as a believable heel. Because, like I said, what he did a couple weeks ago, he laid AJ out, and you kind of was like, maybe. And then he came out the next week and friggin' hugged a kid or something. And everybody rained, no pun intended, with boos. You gotta be a believable heel, Roman. I mean, all my shows, it's almost like but I'm just, because I love the business and my passion is so much for wrestling in WWE. And that's what I want to be, a creative writer in WWE. It doesn't matter what I am. And yes, I will toot my own horn. I can go in WWE and be anything. And make a lot of money. And Vince McMahon would probably put me on screen because I could drop pipe bombs like CM Punk. I could drop knowledge like Paul Heyman. Fact. Okay? But the Ambrose Asylum match, that should be great. With Dean, I definitely think, though, in this match, it's a little spoiler, my predictions will come later this week, but I think Chris Jericho will win this match. Chris Jericho is getting another run. That's why you've been seeing Chris so much. I mean, he's 46 years old, going on 47. But the guy can still go. I mean, he's not like Ric Flair. I mean, when Ric Flair was that age, you kind of saw it like in his, like, after he left WWF in 92, not talking the time when he went to TNA, I'm talking when he left in 93 and went back to WCW. I think he lost it then. I think when he went back to WCW, that was it. I think his first WWF run, and after that, he was never really the same. You know, he had some great matches since then, you know what I mean? But, I mean, in the late 90s. But, I mean, just, you know, he's just not the Ric Flair of old. I mean, the matches he's had recently, big name matches I can remember, like with The Undertaker at WrestleMania 18, Undertaker beat the shit out of him, Triple H beat the shit out of him, Mick Foley, you know, him and Foley had great matches in WWE and TNA. But it's just like Chris Jericho is, I mean, he still can fly around. He's still good. He doesn't have to do the top rope shit anymore. He can just do it. And the rumor is he's going to win Money in the Bank. Now, there's also a rumor that there's still going to be a brand split because this Stephanie and Shane thing, it's almost like, all right, last week they're getting along and they're talking about maybe a ride along with each other. You know, Shane says, no, let's not go too far. And they're smiling. But then this week you see them one-upping each other. Well, why didn't you let me know about this, Shane? Or why didn't you let me know about this, Stephanie? You can see it building. It building. And what it's going to build into is a Triple H versus Shane McMahon match, probably at SummerSlam. I can't see them waiting all the way to WrestleMania or even Survivor Series. The Survivor Series isn't even a big event anymore. It's just like a Hell in a Cell. It's not. It used to be the big Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. Now this is really the big three: Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and SummerSlam. After that, Survivor Series still. I mean, 2011 when The Rock came back, it was big. But then after that, kind of was, you know, a couple years ago, was Orton versus The Big Show. I mean, come on. I mean, for the title. It was corny. But I can see where they're going with the McMahon thing. And I can see a brand split coming with Stephanie running Raw. Because the heel, as you remember, Bischoff and Stephanie was in the face position. The face position. Huh? She was in the face role, and she was on SmackDown. Bischoff was in the heel role. He was on Raw. So if that does happen, you have Stephanie, Triple H, the Authority running Raw. You have Shane running SmackDown. And you will have the world title would be on Raw. The big gold belt and the WWE title would be on SmackDown. That's just the way it would go. And I just know these things. That's the world title would have to be known. So they would put it on, even though it is known, they would have to put it on Raw. The WWE title, like they did before, they would put it on SmackDown. Who goes where? I don't know. I could see Vince saying, like he did in 2002, it's a free. If you think the grass is greener on the other side, jump. It won't be a draft. It'll be see who. That's where the entertainment comes in. See who Stephanie can sign. See who Shane can sign. Because it's coming. It's coming. And that's what we need. Because I'm going to do a show in a couple days, probably after Extreme Rules, on how to create a wrestling company. It's going to be very good. And I very watched that show. And I'm going to tell you how to create a wrestling company that can compete with Vince McMahon and the WWE. Okay? Because the only thing close to it now is that we split the brands. And by watching Raw, that's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Is that they're hitting at a brand split. They're hitting at a Shane versus Triple H match. And it's going to happen. Now, Back to the Kevin Owens on Raw, as I call Monday Night Raw the Kevin Owens show. Kevin Owens is great again. I mean, literally telling Miz, yeah, Miz, that's a nice belt that your wife won from you. Miz, I mean, let me tell you something about Miz. Miz is going to be a great manager. Right now, he's a good wrestler. I mean, he's good. He's not great. He's not bad. He's okay. He's a great heel. Him and Maurice are a great heel couple. But Miz is like, he's not a Roddy Piper, but he's like, he's better than Johnny Polo, even though I like Scott Levy, Raven. What do you call it? But Miz is like a great manager. He's like a Jim Cornette, almost. You know what I mean? Different people, but almost like a Jim Cornette, Mike Mazzoni, The Miz. And The Miz could make you hate him. I could see him with a tag team. Like, can you imagine him managing, like, what are their names? The Revival in NXT. They look like the Brainbusters. Miz managing that. Even if, like, Miz managing just anybody, the Vlog Villains. I mean, that'd be a kind of weird, tie-up. But Miz as a manager, just Miz managing Roman Reigns. I mean, it'd be different, but it'd be something. You know what I mean? Not now, maybe in a few years. But just the Miz as a manager, that's what needs to happen with the Miz. But keep that Intercontinental title on him, because he is a great heel, and Maurice is hot as shit, excuse my language, and keep that belt on him right now. I do like Kevin Owens, but KO, go after the WWE title. The Intercontinental title, you've already held 2 times, you know what I mean? You beat John Cena in your first match ever, you know what I mean, on a major event. You know what I mean? KO, it's time to focus on KO, and Roman Reigns would be a great feud. But the only thing is, Roman is going to go to the heel, and Kevin Owens is going to stay heel. I don't see them. It does look like they're teasing a KO face turn. I hope not. Because I think if they do a KO face turn, keep them the same. Like they did with Austin. Keep them the same. Don't have them change it up. Keep them the same and just have the people cheer them. Like they did with The Rock. You know what I mean? Finally, The Rock started coming into being the people and everything. But Kevin Owens is just great as a great heel. You can't turn it. It seems like they're teasing a face turn with Kevin Owens. I don't like it. Where's Bray Wyatt? I don't know. I thought he would have showed up on Raw. Randy Orton, somebody. We know Cena's coming back on May 30th. Also, here's a little spoiler for you. The reason Randy Orton didn't return is because the same night John Cena returns, Randy Orton will return. Kind of a copycat of 2011 when The Undertaker returned and he came down to the ring. And then right after The Undertaker returned, Triple H's music hit. He came out. It's going to be the same thing on May 30th. Cena's going to come out. I'm back. And probably be singing, John Cena sucks. You know what I mean? He'll come to the ring, and then you'll hear, I hear voices in my head. They talk to me. And then pictures, camera, lights go off. People ain't going to be saying, oh, we saw, this sucks, boring. We saw this already. No. It's John Cena and Randy Orton, okay? It's The Rock and John Cena, it's The Rock and Steve Austin of this era. It's the Hulk Hogan and Macho Man of this era. Cena and Orton are not as big as them guys, but of this era we just lived, they are. Cena and Orton are the Savage and Hogan, are the Austin and Rock, are the HBK and Brett of this era, is John Cena and Randy Orton. Batista should have been, you know what I mean? But whatever. Orton and Cena from 2004 to 2014, they were the top draws in the company for 10 years. Them 2 guys were the 2 top draws in the company. Randy Orton and John Cena. So when they come, I still think you need people say they don't have good chemistry together. I disagree. I think Randy Orton and John Cena have great chemistry together. And I still think one-on-one, we need to see them at WrestleMania. But I don't think you're going to see that next year, because I think John Cena is going to fight The Undertaker next year in The Undertaker's final match. Is somebody cutting my lawn? Because every time they cut my friggin' lawn, I can't hear right. For real. But like I said, Raw so-so. The other night, what was I watching? I was watching another Clash from back in the day. Which one was it? I forget. I forget which one it was. It was one of the Clash of Champions. It was a good one. It was the one with the Black Scorpion came out. The Black Scorpion was Al Perez and Sting fought him. It was that one. Yeah. Real good one. It was that one. And Lex Luger fought Ric Flair. And Lex Luger was the U.S. champion. I'm a big Lex Luger mark. I don't care what anybody said. Lex is the man. Also got a Lex DVD I'm going to review on Kate Fade. Kevin Nash's Kate Fade Timeline 97. Lex Luger Timeline 93 I'm going to review. How to create a company, which everybody I think needs to watch. And hey, Raw was all right. You know what I mean? The women's division, that's so-so. I love Dana Brooke. She's hot. This is Joey G. I'm out. Peace. Dana Brooke.